drives to the front of the room, please? Thank you, Samantha. Dejanine, thank you. Gilbert, good. Carla, put your eyes to the front, please. Thank you, Duran, Jay, Shonda. All right, so I'm ready to go ahead and get started. I know, like, you guys have already been through the tracker. Like, it looks like you did relatively well with Ms. Ruby on today. I can tell you that Southwestern this morning, I only had to deduct one thing from one person in the class. I gave a number of warnings, but the warnings were fixed right away, and that's exactly what we need to see, right? They took the warnings, fixed the behavior, they moved on. I only had to take one deduction. That means everybody in that class got 5 out of 5 on their trackers, okay? Which is exactly what needs to happen, okay? That means that they're getting that many lanyards. Like that's really, really solid, okay? All right. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started today. If you take a look at your 2 review questions at the top, the first question, which of these states one or more main reasons that Napoleon became willing to sell the Louisiana Purchase to the United States? Put your hands up. Why was Napoleon willing to sell the Louisiana Purchase to the U.S.? Julian, eyes to Julian, hands folded and tracking, please. C. Good. Absolutely correct. Can you explain that to me then? Perfect, right? Napoleon needed money to fight Britain, and he didn't want Britain getting the Louisiana Territory, so he's like, all right, I'll sell it to you, right? Those were the reasons. Listen, questions? You pick D. No. Napoleon didn't have French troops along the Mississippi. Okay? So it would not be D. He was trying to sell it. He wanted to get rid of it. Right? So he was pulling his people out. Okay? Look at the second question. A major reason President Thomas Jefferson supported buying the Louisiana Territory was because the purchase did what? Why did Jefferson want the Louisiana Territory? Deontay? Hands folded and tracking Deontay, please. Thank you, Anastasia. Go ahead. You said what? Yeah, see, why was that so important? Why was the Port of New Orleans so important to the United States? Why did Jefferson want it? Why was it so important to Napoleon? Right? New Orleans down here, why was this so important, Carl?
Because we had control of the Mississippi River.
Yeah, it gave us control of the Mississippi River. What were we using the Mississippi River for? What were we using the Mississippi River for? Ron Shanique?
We was using the Mississippi River for trade.
Yeah, for trading things, right? What kinds of things were we trading? What were they sending up and down the river? What were they sending up and down the river, Devin? Cotton, tobacco, crops, right? All sorts of different cash crops. All right, look at your picture for today. Your political cartoon here. All right. What type of resistance to slavery do we see in this picture? What type of resistance to slavery are we looking at here? Anastasia? Yeah, it's open defiance. We actually had a different name though, because look what's happening. Is it just one slave? So if it's a bunch of slaves doing it at one time, what did we call that? What did we call that if it was a bunch at one time, Cassandra? A revolt, right? So the slaves are revolting against their slave owners. So what's happening in this picture? Other than to say that they're revolting, what are they doing specifically? Duranje?
They're killing.
Yeah, they're killing them, right? You can see they're killing them, and they're using. Can anybody see what these are? Wait, hang on, Dave. Warning. Raise your hand. I want your answers, but I want you to raise your hand, please. What is this? Yeah, he's got a machete here, and what about this one here? Carla? Yeah, he's got an axe or a hatchet, right? These are like tools that slaves used while they were working, and then they turned them against their owners. Okay? What other types of resistance are there? Other than the slave revolt, what other types of resistance did we talk about yesterday? What other types of resistance? Justin, give me one or two.
The other resistance is the running away.
So slaves ran away, right? They definitely ran away from the owners. What's another one? Another way that they resisted, Jada? Say that again. They worked slowly, right? That was the most common way that they resisted. They just slowed down the work and did things very, very slowly. What's another way, Waynell? They played stupid, right? They acted like they didn't know what the owner was asking them to do. Trelana, give me another. They broke tools. What would breaking tools do for them? Yeah, they break tools, now they don't have to work. It hurt the owner too, because they had to pay to repair them. Felicia? They burned down massive houses. Remember we said yesterday that there was an insurance company that refused to give insurance or sell insurance to southern plantation owners because slaves had burned down so many houses. Any others? Are we missing any? Yeah? They acted like they were clumsy. Julian? They what? Yeah, they pulled down fences, they damaged the crops, right? So there were lots of different ways that they resisted slavery. There's one that we're missing. It was sort of included in this one, but not a revolt. What was another one, Carl? We got that one already. Michelle? Yeah, the fighting back. Remember we read the story about Frederick Douglass, like choking Covey by the neck and his fingernails digging into his skin until he bled, right? That's like another form of open defiance, right? Good. Who's leading this revolt? Who's leading this revolt, do you think? Deontay? Can you take a guess? What did we talk about yesterday? We talked about two people that led revolts yesterday. Who was the other one? Who was the other one? Dejani? No, you weren't here. Justin. Nat Turner, right? So this is actually Nat Turner's rebellion. This is sort of an opinion question that I wanted you to think about. What type of resistance do you think was best? What type of resistance? If you were a slave, what was the best type of resistance? What was the best type of resistance, Taylor? But this is an opinion question, so you should be able to answer. If you were a slave, what would have been the best type of resistance? But how would you resist? What would you do? Would you run away? Would you fight back? Would you burn down the house? What would be the best type of resistance that would do the most for you?
Burn down the house, fighting in them.
So you would get rid of them. You would not only just burn down the house, you'd kill them too. Tyriel, you'd fight back. Why would that be the best type of resistance for you? Or why is that better than doing something like small where the owner doesn't know? Okay. Let me get some more. Wilbur? Okay, so it would do the most damage to them, right? Like property-wise. What would be the worst type of resistance? What's the worst type of resistance? Like that you think maybe was like not the smartest way? Devin? Running away? Yeah, if you get caught, like the punishments are very severe. And we're actually going to read about one today that will make your stomach turn over. Yeah.
What is it like if they have a gate, a long side gate, and you're trying to run away, try to hide it? You can't go get you.
Okay, so again, the running away would be the worst time because if you got caught, you'd be made an example of. Anastasia?
Open defiance because like that's a greater possibility that they'll kill you.
Yeah, if you openly defy the owner, right, or if you openly fight back, like, they usually don't stand for it. Okay, what happened to Frederick Douglass is pretty unusual, the fact that he didn't get whipped anymore, okay? Hands down, I'm going to go ahead and move on, okay? So, our aim today, again, if we look back here, we're going to be looking at the efforts of key abolitionists. We're going to describe the efforts. So, how were key abolitionists trying to stop slavery, okay? Your